Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something a little different today.
Oh, yeah, this should be fun.
Yeah. It's all about creativity, but not like the usual, 5 tips to boost your creative output. This is more about, mm,
Like a way of life.
exactly, a way of being.
Yeah.
We're looking at this book excerpt that lays out these 7 creative acts.
Okay.
And honestly, it's making me rethink my whole approach to, well, everything.
Interesting. So what's the first act? What's the first thing we're going to dive into?
Well, the first one is accepting imperfection. And that right there already has me hooked.
Okay, I see that. I mean, we're always told to strive for perfection,
Right, like push yourself, be the best. But this is saying,
Embrace the mess.
yeah, like those moments when you just want to scrap a project because it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
This book argues that those imperfections are actually like,
Guideposts.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're guiding you towards something unique.
I like that. And it makes sense, right? Because if you're so focused on making everything perfect.
You never finish anything.
Exactly. Or it all ends up looking the same, generic.
Right, and this book uses a great analogy. It compares creative work to exploring uncharted terrain.
Okay, yeah. You're going to stumble, take wrong turns.
But that's how you find the hidden gems.
It's the stuff nobody else has seen.
Right. And that leads perfectly into the next act, connecting outward.
Outward. So not just like our own thoughts and ideas.
Exactly. It's about finding inspiration in the world around us. Nature, people, experiences, you name it.
I can definitely see that. Like even just walking through a museum,
Oh, yeah,
seeing how other artists have expressed themselves, it just sparks so many ideas.
totally. For me, it's being out in nature, hiking, just noticing the details.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like just being present and absorbing the world around you.
And this next act, time and rhythm, is a good reminder for me to slow down.
Slow down, how so?
Well, we live in this culture of like instant everything, right? But real creativity,
Yeah.
it takes time.
Oh yeah, like good ideas, they need time to simmer.
Exactly. It's not always about those aha moments.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about being patient, letting things unfold naturally.
Absolutely. This book actually compares it to like a seed growing,
Oh, yeah.
You can't just rush the process. You have to nurture it, give it time to develop.
So true. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Quiet space.
Ooh, quiet space. That's a tough one these days.
I know, right? I mean, I'm the first one to admit I'm constantly checking my phone, scrolling through social media.
Yeah, me too. It's like this constant stream of information.
And this act is saying we need to disconnect from all that.
Yeah.
Like create space for actual thinking.
Silence. Just being with our own thoughts.
Yeah. And it's hard. But the book argues that it's essential for creativity. Like all those great ideas, they come from that quiet space.
It makes sense. I mean, when you're constantly bombarded with noise, how can you even hear your own thoughts?
Exactly. And there's actually research showing that mindfulness practices, even
Yeah.
just short bursts of meditation, can boost creative thinking.
Wow, that's interesting. So even just a few minutes of quiet time can make a difference,
It's about finding those pockets of stillness throughout the day.
even if it's just for a few minutes.
Okay, on to something a little more fun. Playful wonder.
Ooh, playful wonder. Now we're talking.
This one feels like it's speaking directly to our inner child. That sense of curiosity and just wanting to try things out.
That's so important. And so often we lose that as adults.
It gets so serious. But this book reminds us that playfulness is essential for creativity.
Yeah. When we play, we experiment, we take risks. We're not so afraid to make mistakes.
And we have fun,
Yep.
which leads to more creativity.
Absolutely. And sometimes the best ideas come when we're not even trying, like when we're just messing around, having fun.
So true. Okay, the next one really made me think. We are recipients.
We are recipients. What does that even mean?
Well, you know how we often talk about creative geniuses as if they have this special gift?
Right.
This act challenges that whole idea. It's saying that we don't actually own creativity.
So where does it come from then?
It's like we're tapping into a universal stream of inspiration. We're receiving it and then transmitting it through our work.
Okay, that's a really interesting concept. But it also makes me wonder, how do we maintain our own unique voice then, if we're all just receiving and transmitting?
That's a great question. And I think the key is that we each have our own unique lens through which we filter that inspiration. Our own experiences, perspectives, all that shapes how we express ourselves.
So it's like taking ingredients from various recipes, but then creating a dish that's totally our own.
Exactly. And finally, we arrive at present and simple.
Present and simple. Sounds
It
peaceful,
is. It's about finding beauty in the everyday.
like appreciating the little things.
Yeah. Savoring a cup of coffee, noticing the way the light hits a leaf, just being aware of our surroundings.
So it's kind of a grounding force after all that expansive talk of universal inspiration.
Totally. It brings us back to the present moment. So if we're looking at creativity as this way of being,
Hmm.
how can we actually incorporate these acts into our daily lives? Like beyond specific projects or goals?
I think it's about making those small shifts in our mindset, like approaching challenges with curiosity instead of fear,
Yeah. Being open to new experiences.
and finding joy in the process of creation.
Exactly. So it's not just about what we create, but how we live. It's about cultivating a creative mindset.
Really makes you think.
It does. So here's a question for you all to ponder. Think back to a time when you felt truly creative. What act resonated with you most in that moment? Until next time.